I suppose I should hit record because that always helps. Hello. There we go. We are recording. Oh, not a good start. I was grumpy. That was not good at all. And I apologize. All right. One of those things. And it looks like we are indeed. And I stopped at a good Starsky and Hutch look there. And the chat room is missing.
Of course it
Of
is.
course it is. All right, folks, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to work on this. We've been running a little late. A couple things aren't working right. And now I just noticed that the chat room is not up. And I don't know if that's because of us or what. So let me see if this comes up like it's supposed to. And it does not appear to be. So let me see if I can bring that up. Interesting. So let me go over to Chatango over here real quick. And again, I thank you for your apologize for being a little bit late. And I was literally taking a nap because of the new, I've got a 3 month contract with the new job. So I was a little fatigued, a little tired when I came in. And I pushed at my two ladies when they came in to help, and that was not nice. I was a little grumpy because I overslept a little bit, and it's like the dog came by, just want to give me a hug and some love, and I kind of griped at her a little bit. And then Amy came in, and she's been tired and fatigued too. And it's like, one of those days. And then stuff like this happens where the chat room's not working. And Amy's computer's at 92% of her update. So we're gonna see if we can get this going here real quick because we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot of good things to bring up, and I just want to make sure that our website is up. All right. And there's that. And I'll see if we go that way. So yeah, our pooch is like right here. The what's up, Ellie?
Hmm.
What's up? Yeah, so she wasn't all right, so there's that. Who uses Flash anymore? I'm just saying. All right, so I'm going to bring up the. I'm currently on Chantango bringing up our websites, and I just want to grab the. There's the profile, and I just want to grab
Ellie, stop.
the actual.
Said stop and then poked her in the eye.
The dog's like,
It's like, I'm going to
dang,
stay away from you people.
you guys are
I want a new home.
nuts. Yeah. It's like, I'm just saying. All right. Where is it's been a while since I've been on this. All right, there's Chantango.
Hmm.
There's the settings. I don't want settings. I want some chats. Let's close this. And I just want my chat room. And somewhere is something that says
Add a group chat to your webpage.
I've already got it. I just want to get the one that I already have.
Uh,
Open last chats, list recent chats. What the heck? Wow.
that's from 2016.
Okay, so that's old. So that was that. All right, let's just see real quick if I can get this. There's that. There's the box. And again, I apologize. We're just trying to get the chat room back up real quick here. And I will take this one, and it'll be 350 by 350, 500, and it'll be glorious. And how about black for today? And that's fine, and that's all fun. And then I just need to get the text. They've moved things around, of course. And I apologize again for taking. We're just getting the chat room up here real quick. So there's that size, color, settings, around corners, of course. And then where's the part that says here's where you grab your.
Just live button on the left.
Where's that at? Oh, that's no, that's not what we need.
Oh.
I just need the actual. Let me move this over for half a sec. Maybe it's not big enough. All right, so there's there. All right, group name. That. Our Creed group. There's the code I was looking for.
Jeez.
Yeah, they've changed things around a bit, and I got to.
And it's even a bigger pain.
Yes.
If that was possible.
Yes. So that's all part of that fun. Now I actually have to take this code here and put it into our website. So hang on one quick second, folks.
Lonnie from work.
Yes.
Okay. He posted a article about Neanderthals and how they actually used an adhesive.
Did they to keep their mates?
To keep their tools together and their roofs and things like that.
Wow.
They actually.
So they stuccoed their mates after they clubbed them and brought them into the cave. And
apparently, they were smarter than we think they are.
All right. So adhesives, huh?
Mm-hmm. They'd cook the bark.
Yep.
Heat up the bark, and the tar would come out of the bark, and they'd use that to.
Wow, that's actually that's smart.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let me get the last part here. I'm now taking the text and putting it in the spot here. There's a script. Dun, 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 dun. Pages. And that should paste. All right. There's that. Let me update the website. And then what's going to happen, folks, is you're going to need to reset your screen for the people that are just coming in. And this should be working. So let me reset the screen, and happiness and joy will be in. And this is what happens with technical difficulties. And it's still not coming up. All right.
Refresh your screen.
I did refresh my screen. Maybe the update was still doing it. Hang on a sec. Let's try chat room. And it's not coming up, and I do not know why. Huh, that's interesting. There's that. We just don't have a chat room tonight. And I do not know why. That should have worked. So there's a couple of things going on with stuff, and apparently that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, it's there.
Sorta.
Sorta. All right. Let me.
Okay.
So yours is not.
Mine's up.
Okay, so you have a chat room.
Yeah.
Okay, reset it just to make sure. For some reason, it's not coming up on my screen, so that's not good. All right, but wife Amy's got hers, and what I can do, since we're versatile, and again, this is what the pre-show is all about: is when weird stuff doesn't happen like it's supposed to, we take down what we don't need and put back what we do. And what I can do here,
I would close it out and start over.
All right, so I'm going to do that. Maybe not in.
Mine's in Chrome.
Yeah, but maybe for some reason mine's not working like it's supposed to. Hang on one sec.
Two Wombles wants to know if you have tried to turn it off and back on again.
Yes, the reset button is not being my friend today. But again, this is why we do the pre-show when weird stuff happens, and it just seems to all have come aligned today. All right, so that's that. Get out of All right, nothing like a little dead air too. So for the people listening to the pre-show tonight, we apologize.
Yeah, but we got our coffee.
We have our coffee. I just haven't had a chance to drink it. All right. What's that?
Is it a 1D 10T error? Yeah, probably so.
Probably so.
The solar eclipse. Yes, we can blame that too.
We'll blame that too. All right. So okay, it's up now. So it's something with my computer over here with Chrome. So again, we apologize. Lots of stuff going on. Um, it's just kind of a weird start to things. Like say for example, the Hangout toolbox that we have, nothing's working. We filled out the stuff like it's supposed to, and nothing's working. So that's down. The bottom thirds are working, and our overlays, of course. So let me try seeing if we can bring up uh, the actual part here and see if that works. And it does not. So yeah, that's the, like I said, it's the night of things that
It
just
has just been one of those days.
it's
I think
just
it's like a 3/4 full moon,
is that what it
and it's
is?
just starting to
It's
screw
just
everything up.
delayed. It's delayed from the other stuff. Yeah, it's just not working. Okay, so anyways, that's what it all boiled down into one thing. I wanted to take a little nap because I started my new job. I've got a 3 month contract, and we're very happy for that. It's going to help us out immensely. But it's one of those things that I had forgotten was that in these type of jobs where you use the old noodle,
You haven't used your brain in
I
a
haven't
while.
used my brain like that in a long time, and you can get I would say just as fatigued, using your brain, especially when you're starting with
When it's slow to start
yeah,
anyway.
when you almost start hearing your brain do the clicking noise, like the resistor when it's going off because the battery's too low. That's where I was. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a quick 20-minute nap. That's it. I'll be fine. I'll get up plenty of time to get everything ready. And what I did is I turned the volume off my phone because you don't want that going off at work.
And how's that working out for you?
Well, the alarm went off. And for 10 minutes,
The alarm went off.
it went off, but I didn't hear it until Amy opened up the door and said, are we doing this? And it's like, yeah. So we only had a couple of minutes to go. And
10 minutes before 8.
right.
I'm like,
So
Beavis, are you coming?
I'm waking up. I'm groggy. I'm grouchy. I'm whatever. I come in here. The dog's all thrilled about it, and I'm pushing her away. I'm kind of ticked because I'm trying to get everything in place in that fog that you are when you're just waking up. And then you go through it, and you're just trying to get pieces together, and then things like, uh, the chat room not showing up in my monitor like it normally does, or the hangout stuff is not working like it's supposed to, and it just all compiles
Mhm.
together, and it's like
Now you know why I'm so
kind of like
grumpy
that's
all the time.
yeah, well, yeah, that's usually because of me, but that's besides the point.
I've, well,
Yeah, it's just been that. So I'm taking a sip of coffee, maybe a couple, and go from there. So again, I apologize for tonight's patron pre-show not being anything worth really really listening to,
and
because
that's
it was
when the fight started, Your Honor.
yes, exactly. Exactly. So like I said, we don't have bottom thirds, we don't have overlays, just like the good old days, and we will go from there. But we've got a couple interesting things that I did want to bring up. One of the things was last week we did an entire show just about the amazingly cool idea that they were doing what they referred to as virtual rewards, and that how cool it was that Geocaching HQ has taken, this opportunity to do something that they never did before with a grandfather typed geocache, and then to be able to have 4,000 people go out and place virtual geocaches in that amount of time. Just in the past week, we had a situation where they had done not one but 2 addendums to the original blog post. Now, I'm not going to go over all of it because we only got 5 minutes now. But the interesting thing is they literally came back with uh, a way of explaining how everything worked and why they, things were going, like, say, for example, yay, virtuals are back, but they said, well, not exactly. Yes, we're hoping to see up to 4,000 new virtual caches in the next year, but we want to make it clear that virtuals means a grandfathered cache type. So all the people that were blowing their horns and saying, yay, they're back, they're back, they're back, they went, even when we did our show, we said, not quite.
Yeah.
And went with that. Some of the other things that they had, I own great caches. Why wasn't I selected for a virtual reward? They came up with some algorithm that nobody can figure out, because talking to the people that received them. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Talking to the people that received them, none of them made common sense out of any of them.
Well, I just have to say that that there are people in this world that think they just deserve it.
Okay.
No.
No.
And I can't stress that enough, because there are things in this world that I feel like I should deserve.
Right.
Life owes you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So because you weren't picked or selected, you feel
now your knickers are in a twist.
Yeah, don't get your knickers in a twist. Take them off and wear some ones that aren't twisted.
The flow kind.
Yeah, because really.
Just saying.
Yeah. The participation trophy. No.
Yeah, it doesn't work with this. Sorry.
Life doesn't work that way. So the fact that they chose the top 1% was their choice.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
It truly doesn't matter.
No.
And if you're upset and sensitive over that,
deal with it.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah. So people were saying, we demand to see the algorithm because we want to see how these people were picked. And Geocaching HQ said no.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
That is not, no.
And
they owe you nothing.
Yes. And all these people, a lot of people apparently complained about how the terminology of being the top 1% of geocaching hiders was used, and how offended they were that they did all their stuff, but yet they still did not receive. Poo-poo ka-choo.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you what life should owe me.
Yes. They ask questions, why not just make virtual caches available for everybody? No, the reason why they stopped it was because, one, this is a reward system that they're just giving a limited amount out. Two, we want the top people that are geocachers out there doing these virtuals, so that we don't have, here is the stool that I proposed to my wife in this McDonald's on such and such. No. They want quality caches going out. So
and there is not, that is not to say that there is not more people out there in the world who produce quality caches and would do a quality virtual.
Right.
This is a trial.
Yes.
So trials cannot be everybody. You're just going to have to wait your freaking turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Will there be more?
I get upset over that.
Scott was the same way last night on Geocaching Podcast. Will there be more virtual rewards in the future? They don't know. They don't have any plans on it. But I'll tell you what, if everybody's walking around acting like they've got a stick somewhere they shouldn't, they're not going to do it. Because I was thinking, okay, all right, you're doing this as a reward for this. Could we do more webcams?
Yes.
That's another grandfathered one. I would love to have people be able to go out and do. Exactly. So it's like there's possibilities here, and people are poo-pooing it so bad that they're getting mad. Now, they got, and I'm not going to go over, they got another 10 different items of things that they talked about in the first addendum. On the 30th, which was yesterday, they put out another one saying things like, and you gotta know that they went through and enough people complained to them and poo-pooed about it that they had to write this. Geocaching HQ values all cache hiders for their amazing contributions they make to this game. And let's face it, folks, not all of us, including myself, are the greatest at this. We apologize for any offense this promotion has caused you or any others in the community. It is certainly not our intent to upset anyone. In fact, it was our intent to do something positive for the global caching community. Based on feedback we've received, we have updated this blog post to remove the emphasis on top 1% of cache hides.
And there's your participation trophy.
And replace it with top 1% of the results from our algorithm. As this description more accurately describes the selected group of geocachers, using the phrase top % of cache hiders was inaccurate and unfortunately caused confusion. There was a confusion, folks. Among geocachers worldwide. We regret this choice of words and have adjusted the language in this post to more clearly describe this process. They go on for 4 more full paragraphs talking about how, they're trying to smooth this over. And I feel so sorry for the folks at Geocaching HQ who went into the effort, came up with an idea that nobody thought was ever going to happen.
Nope.
Only to get backlash from the geocaching community because all the naysayers out there, I call it the 99%, who didn't get it. And it's like,
and that's the truth. Somebody, and I won't say their name.
Right.
It's a shame they have to apologize for doing us a favor.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is the truth. Instead of putting out negative statements and how dare you put us in ranks and whatever.
Yeah.
Why don't you try to help the ones that were chosen?
Yeah.
And say, hey man, if you could really put one like out here,
right?
That would be great. You could do it this, that, and the other. Give them ideas.
Yeah.
Be a part of the solution and not the problem.
So many cool virtuals that are going to be going out.
I think they're confused about my stance.
It's usually 3-prong and her right shoulders up. I'm just saying.
Come on.
So I'm just saying. So yeah, I mean, it's worth discussion. We talked a lot about it last night on the Geocaching podcast. So go check that out because Scott Burks was losing it too. But I'll tell you what, this and this went off a lot last night.
Yeah.
So check out the Geocaching podcast. I almost had to put a thing on there saying for restrictions for language because we all were getting ticked.
I try not to do that, and I'm not always the best at it, but I get stuff like this at work at my full-time job, and but my part-time job in retail, I kind of expect the entitled. But anyway, the ones I work with full-time,
whole different
are horrible.
Yeah, whole different kettle.
They're horrible, absolutely horrible. And if anybody who works in public safety, you will understand because the young ones, you know how they are,
right?
And no.
Yeah, if you get a bunch of complainers, I mean, this is what Amy's point was.
Nobody
earlier.
Treats me right. I don't get this. I don't get that.
I didn't get one. Guess what? If they actually did use an algorithm that said the top 1% of hiders was going to get this and you didn't get it, that, my friend, is called a goal that you can go out and try better.
What is this goal you speak of?
You don't get your participation trophy. You don't get your cookie. You go out.
But I like cookies.
You try better. You try better.
Make my own cookie.
And you work better to earn a shot at getting a chance of that.
I have a public safety person agreeing with me already.
Yes. So we're saying that's how it works.
Be part of the solution and not the problem. Yes. Let's all chill and forget about the 1% versus 99 who really gives crap anyway.
We got 4,000 virtuals that are coming out, folks.
Right.
You know what?
Yeah.
Be happy.
And if they do continue to do this, keep your virtual idea. You can do it.
Yes.
Just suck it up for a little bit.
Yeah. Don't spoil it for everybody else.
Be an adult.
Yeah. Go figure. So anyways, that's what we had for our pre-show to talk about. And that's the abbreviated version. And
I had to talk quick.
And we had to go through, but that's how that goes. Now, for some reason, the Hangouts is not working correct, so we don't have a overlay or our bottom third.
Congratulations,
so I'm just thank you for Google Hangouts for all the.
It is a day.
It's a day.
It is a day.
But I think it's time.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes.
So that's good.
I think it's time to start the show because we're actually about 4 minutes late now. So, all right, folks, sit back.
We were 15 minutes late in the beginning.
Well, we got to head and give them something. Sit back, relax, get your favorite libation, your favorite snack. and we will go from there because the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast is coming at you right now. We love the people in the chat room. You guys are awesome. All right, let's do this. Well, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. You know, I noticed
you are loud.
You cannot get away with as much when you don't have the overlay up than as when you're exposed. I'm just saying. Welcome to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. I'm your host, Andy HeadHardHat Smith, and I'm here with the wonderful, the delightly. That's
like Holly Golightly.
The detention.
Detention? That's you.
Yeah, I woke up and listened to the short part of the pre-show that we had because we came in late. Things weren't working right. You know, normal stuff that happens on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast that our lovely universe out there understands and tolerates. So thank you for all that. So yeah, as you notice, we don't have a bottom third tonight and no overlays. So here we are. Just saying. So yeah, welcome. It is August 31st. Man, we're going into September. August 31st, 2017. And yeah, it was just a real rough start. And we got into a exposing myself on the internet again. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. Something else. And with therapy, I'll get over that. We went through and talked a little bit about how Geocaching HQ had to apologize because of the stuff that they did with the virtual rewards. Now we're not going to get into that because we let off some steam.
Yeah.
Listen to the short 15 minutes.
I could continue.
The 15 minutes of the pre-show, and you'll get that when we were actually up and running. But just to back up one fact with that, Geocaching HQ, I don't think had to apologize for anything.
Nope.
They were doing us all a favor by bringing out 4,000 virtuals, whether it was the last time, the first time, whatever, and however means that they chose who they chose people. And apparently a lot of people's got their knickers in a twist and wrote back saying, well, guess what? That's how it works. And they actually put in a 5-paragraph retort on the blog post explaining how all this stuff happened. And I give them kudos for Geocaching HQ for doing this type of thing. And we thank them. And hopefully this will not deter them from other things that they might be able to do.
Honestly, I think they're I think their skin is thicker than that.
I hope so.
Because really, when you're working with people, regardless of how nice or not nice they are, it's good. There's going to be a hiccup at some point.
Exactly.
No matter
what
whether
it is.
No matter whether everybody's happy about it or not.
Right.
There's going to be a hiccup.
Yeah. So anyhow, it's in the end of August. We are going into fall time already. I don't know how this works. I was talking to Sarah last night on Geocaching Podcast. And they're in their first day of spring because they're opposite of us.
They're opposite, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how does that work? Because our first day of fall doesn't happen until September 21st or 2nd through there. How is that? So something in New Zealand is very Kiwi. And they're going to have their first day of spring. Maybe it's just they just want to get out of winter. And get into the sunshine again. So anyhow, we are heading towards our winter solstice, and they are coming out of coming into their summer solstice. And so they're warming and we're cooling. Their days are getting longer, our days are getting shorter. That's how that goes. But interesting stuff. Let's see. Speaking of cooling down, it is less. Yeah, I was talking about Amy cooling down. Breathe deep, dear.
Yeah.
The West Coast is still roasting. Chad couldn't do anything because the temperatures were 110, not including the heat index. We've heard of all, and we feel for all the people down in Texas, from having the hurricane hit them and having literally a year's worth of water dumped on them in 3 days. So weird weather is going on. Here. We actually have it actually cooled down into the 70s.
Yeah.
And we've been in the upper 90s and middle 90s for months now.
Yeah.
And to suddenly, I was so happy. I just went out on the porch one evening earlier this week and just stood there. And we had two factors that you do not have in North Carolina during summertime. One, it was cool because it was in the mid 70s.
Second, there's a breeze.
And we had a wind.
I'm like, oh, summer's over. We got breeze.
It's over. So yeah, it was one of those things. But of course, we've got rain. Matter of fact, we've got remnants.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow too.
It's supposed to like pour for the next couple of days. So lots of rain. So not too many. I got a couple of lunchtime geocaches. That was though. That's one cool thing.
We're watching hurricane.
Yeah, and we got another hurricane on the way, possibly. Yeah. So I pray to God that it doesn't go into the Gulf. Because they hit enough. Sorry, but that's 50 inches of rain is not, something you want to sneeze at. That is
and those people are suffering. They've already discovered that there's at least 100,000 homes
gone,
just destroyed.
Yeah. So.
And I'm not sure what the
well, they're saying already that's just the original estimate. They're thinking of that thing doubling.
Oh yeah.
So
as the water recedes, they're going to find so much stuff.
And I know this bug Chad, Taz 427, because he moved to California, but all his friends in that are all still in Texas.
Yeah.
So he's
and it was the Houston area, right?
Yeah, he's been keeping up with them. For that, and they've gone through. They said they've never gone through something quite like this before.
Yeah.
So prayers.
It's just amazing how their community has come together for each other.
Yeah, so good wishes, and if you can help, please do.
Yeah.
And we're really feeling it for the folks down in.
There's a lot of groups
Texas.
out there that are legitimate that you can
find the
money
legitimate groups to work with.
Clothing that they're sending out there, or what have you. So if you can do that.
Yep. Looks like who said about Virginia?
Searchline. Yeah.
Said the leaves are already turning in Virginia. Really?
They went camping last weekend and it was in the 50s.
Yeah, because Scott was talking up in Chicago how it's cooled off. He said, "No, we're in fall now. I've got longer shorts and longer t-shirts than he normally has." So yeah, it's the weather's changing.
I'm not trying to breathe when I go outside.
Right. So just
struggling to breathe.
Yeah. So just take it for. My websites.
You can't do that left-handed, can you?
No, I'm trying. We'll see what happens. So yeah, it's just been weird weather. Just be careful. Be prepared if you're out there geocaching, because weird weather brings up possibilities of things not working nice. And we just want you prepared. All right, so how can you watch the show live or generally get in touch with us? It's very simple. To watch the live feed and join us in the chat room with geocachers literally from around the planet by going to www.geosnippits.com on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock on the pre-show when it actually starts when it's supposed to. Except for like days today, like it did not. We also have all our social media links for you to contact Amy or myself, or have questions or ideas about the show. Simply go to geosnippits.com and click on the different links up there for all the social medias and the social interweaves. And we love hearing from you fine folks. So thank you so much for all the stuff that you do with that. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. So every time we put out a podcast, it actually goes into a nice little subscribe area that you can go and see us anytime you want, which is awesome. Because I mean, that's kind of the way it is for YouTube now. Everybody's categorized and have their, things that they want to see on a regular basis. So they subscribe to it. So you can do that for our show as well. Finally, we have our voicemail line where you can call in your comments, your questions, your suggestions by calling 919-341-9519, or you don't even have to worry about the phone charges, especially for our friends who are overseas, and go to www.geosnippits.com and select the send voicemail tab on the right side of the screen. Click on there and you can use our SpeakPipe app, and you get up to 3 minutes to say basically anything that you want about geocaching. Ask Amy a question, ask Andy a question, comments about past shows, anything that you want to talk about. Send it in. We love hearing you, and we love hearing the voice to go with the name. And the cool thing is you can do it for free. So please, 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 when you give a chance, give it a try.
All right. This is a long one. All right. The feedback this week comes from Kendall Tabor, aka Coon and Bud.
Yep.
And he says, "Hello, I'm going going caching this year.
Mm-hmm.
See, you mentioned in one of your podcasts that you have never cached a geo art. There's a geo art of 75 puzzle geocaches to the west of Rome called Alabama High School Mascots.
Huh.
Are you interested in caching together and completing this geo art? I will have all of them solved, 13 of the 75.
Okay.
I use Cachly and have an offline PQ saved of the geo art.
All right.
Pocket query for PQ.
Yeah.
Using the corrected chords feature, it makes this a very easy hunt. I have used Cachly on 2 other geo art adventures, the Arkansas Star with Doc Firewoman and the Big Wagon at Moga 2017.
Cool.
Daryl Wattenberg is coming to really?
Yeah, he's going to Daryl W4.
Going caching too. I will contact him and see if he's interested in this adventure. It should take about 3 to 4 hours at least, but we'll allow 5 to 6 and have a backup plan for other caches to go find. You never know how long each cache will take, and that's the truth.
Yep.
I could send you the corrected chords to use in Cachly, even if you have already planned out each day. I know you get lots of requests to go caching, eat lunch, etc. at these mega events. I arrive in Rome on Wednesday evening. Thanks for your kindly consideration. Yours and Ken Geocaching.
No, thank you, Kendall. We really do appreciate it. If we can work it out, even part of it, that'll be awesome. Part of
it. That would be
fun.
Even a day.
We are planning. We don't have everything worked out, but because I got my 3-month gig here, we might actually have some extra money. We're planning on going caching this year. We've been there for the past few years, have had an absolute blast, and we will probably be coming in there that Wednesday too. Because
this is the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, well, we've just had it available to be able to do this, so we need a break. I'm just saying.
Well, we need to ask off for work.
Well, we're going to. But anyways, this is what happens when you do stuff live. So anyways.
Yeah, when you spring stuff on your wife.
Surprise. So yeah, we're going to really try to make it to going caching this year. We had such a great time last year. And the Rome area is so cool anyways.
It is nice.
So, I would love to be there for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and do that, because to do going caching, if you're planning on going, at least 3 days you need, because
and one thing that is not going with us.
What's that? Oh, the pooch. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
So anyhow, it's one of those things that you really, really, if you haven't experienced going caching, get out there and just don't go there for one day. You don't get it if you just go for that Saturday. Go for like at least Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you've gone before and done this, you already know what you need to do to go out. So going caching is great. And yeah, if we could do some of the geo art, I don't know if we could do 3 hours or 4 hours, depending on what things that they've got planned to do as well. But I would love to give it a good shot with that. That'd be great. Yeah, because we don't work going caching. I should say I don't work going caching. We won't have a booth. We just walk around and say
I don't work at all. No matter where we go.
So yeah, lots of fun.
It don't happen.
Yep.
That's not true. The Woodstock I do.
Yeah. Our GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast Geocaching Poll of the Week. Here's some of the results for the one that we just put out last week, and it's a cutie. So yeah, let me bring this up for wife Amy.
All right. The question is, you and that Zoom.
I don't know what does that.
And you don't know how to fix it either.
And I don't know how to fix it. Go ahead and do this, and I'll change it.
Do you take children geocaching when you go age 10 or less? Okay.
Yep. And the results are, and I'm going to click on this so that we can do it. Let's see, where is it?
It's at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, it moved up on us. There we go.
All right, 31% is no, and 69% is
Take
yes.
children 10 or younger. And a lot of the things that I've read on many of the comments where there's no such thing as too young, because we asked what is an age that's too young to go geocaching.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that have taken newborns geocaching.
Yeah.
There are people that have taken their kids all the way through puberty. I mean, there's just no right answer for that. But yeah, 69% say yes, they take their kids geocaching. So that's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. Excellent stuff. Now, we put out a poll each and every week. The new one just went out before all the fiasco stuff happened this evening. And the new one's out. We have a section. All you have to do is go to geosnippets.com. And on the right hand side, there's a section that talks about the geocaching poll of the week, and it gives you links to where all the polls are at. We actually have a Google Plus collection with over 100 different polls. If you just want to binge doing polls, this is a great place to go. We go check back on them every once in a while to see how they're doing. And like I said, we've got over 100 different polls that we brought out and continue to grow with. And they are all in one convenient place. And that's the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast Poll of the Week collection. And the links to all that are in our show notes or off the website. So be sure to check that. All right, good stuff. Let's move on. I'm going to push this button right here. Tonight's episode is brought to you in part by gxproxy.com and gxproxy.eu for our friends in Europe, for cachers serious about leaving their mark. And before Amy goes on, I just do want to do a note. Their warehouse is in place. Everything's going. They're starting to work on the new stuff. So GX Proxy's back, folks. So just to let you know, it's been a long.
And FYI, that little signal you had last week with the little clip, it's a zipper pull.
Is that what that is? What a cool idea. There you go. I'm like, what would somebody want to put this on? And I got it over here. And it's a zipper pull. Thank you for correcting me on that. I never would have guessed. What a cool thing to do. And it's trackable. So very, very neat. Let's see. And also by
coinsandpins.com, the best place to get custom coins, geocoins, lapel pins, and patches made. Go through our GeoSnippets links and use the promo code HeadHardHat for a 10% discount. And FYI for our listeners, you can sign up for their newsletter to get notified of when new coins and patches are available for sale. We're also very thankful to all of our sponsors, and if you want to see more of their products, please be sure to go to our GeoSnippets websites and simply click on their logos. Not only do you get great deals, but it helps our program as well.
Absolutely. Moving on. Yeehaw! Yep. The Geocachers Creed, GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, episode 214. Okay, so yeah, there is about once a year, I try to bring out the information about the Geocachers Creed. And there is, and I'm going to see if I can bring this up on our other website here real quick, if you would be so kind as to type that URL in there. If you want to get more information about the actual Geocachers Creed, simply go to www.geocreed, geocreed.info, and that will bring up the website. Now, one of the things I always love doing a plug for this is that the people that originally made the Geocachers Creed, the website was starting to fall out of favor for them. They weren't sure how they were going to keep it up, and it was Cash Dash Advance with Lisa who decided to take the reins from that and just pay the money to keep the website up.
Yeah, so and today is her 15th caching anniversary.
Is it really? Holy cow! Congratulations. Where do you get this stuff?
Yeah, I'm just smart like that.
Wow, that is awesome. So yeah, excellent stuff. Now, one of the things, like I said, I try to bring this up at least once a year because I feel it's important. It's important just as much about talking about geocaching maintenance. It's just important for talking about the importance of preparing for going on a geocaching adventure correctly. There's so many different things that are key that make geocaching what it is and what it should remain. And basically it gives you those guidelines. And I know people to go, oh, guidelines, ick, that means I have to follow rules. No, it's a sense of identity to what you are doing. And that's what the Geocachers Creed is for geocaching. It gives you the common sense. I mean, there is nothing in here where you go, I never thought of that. But it's common sense that we need to be reinforced every once in a while because, quite frankly, and I talked it briefly because we like talking about it on the Geocaching podcast as well. So I brought it up last night saying what we were talking about tonight. And Scott kind of went Geocachers Creed and he kind of went, and I'm like, that's so weird because he is a huge fan of the Creed. He is a huge fan. But what I think he has thought about, and I kind of realized it over the past couple of years too, there was a golden age of geocaching. There was a golden age from like about, and people will come up with their own range, but for me, it was between 2008 and 2012 where geocaching meant everything to me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It was important. It was a physical thing, part of my life. It was something that I felt extremely strongly about. It's not like I don't now, but I'm just saying the intensity of the feeling for geocaching was its strongest because it was such a revolutionary time for geocaching. So many
Mm-hmm.
things were changing, so many things were going on. Now we're in the era of quick and easy, millennial type thinking where, you don't do the research like you did back in those days. I remember writing stuff down on pieces of paper to go find the geocache or printing out, the individual cache pages to go find a geocache.
Mm-hmm.
There was research involved with the different type of things that you wanted to do with geocaching. There was a lot of self when I don't even know the correct term, but there was a lot of self-indulgence with figuring out what you needed to do just to get a couple of geocaches that afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much involvement that you got into it, and loading your GPS units and getting into all this stuff. Nowadays, you open up your phone, you got your app, you push a button, and you go. And people, I feel, because of that ease, has lost that ethical thinking
Mm-hmm.
about geocaching. It's like Pokemon Go. Nobody thinks about what the heck they're doing when they're going off with that. They just turn it on and they go chase little, figment creatures. There's no thought to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that the Geocachers Creed, even though we talk about it every year, that it's a lesser feeling, and that's sad to me
Mm-hmm.
for that. I hope I'm getting that across the right way. So, anyways, let me go over some of the stuff that goes into the Creed. And again, we do it to reinforce because for sometimes it'll click for people. Those little pieces of information that go on that people go, oh, geez, that's right. Why don't I do that more? And that's what we're going to go with this tonight. When you look at go to the website again, which is geocreed.info, and you look at it, there are three huge words that are on the top of it. And we'll get more into detail, but it's very important that it's the backbone. It's kind of the mission statement of what the Geocachers Creed is. And those three words are safe, legal, and ethical. And I think in this day and age, in the times that we are in right now, there is a vast lack of any of those three things. You look at the news, you look at a lot of the stuff that's going on, safe, legal, ethical as a backbone for geocaching. I think that's awesome. And I think it's something that what keeps geocaching going. But we've got to be able to encourage that to the people that take it lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's what we go into. The development of the Creed from the Geocaching Creed website. The Geocachers Creed is designed to help orient new players to the ethos of geocaching community and to guide experienced players in questionable situations. What would somebody do? Kind of like with that. And the guide experienced players in questionable situations so that everybody can enjoy geocaching. The Geocachers Creed was created using open forums that were viewed over 7,800 times and actively involved over 60 geocachers in a long discussion, with two geocachers serving as editors to meld various comments. These discussion arose out of the concerns that geocaching could be banned in some locations because of the inappropriate actions of a few people. The creed is a way of considering or consolidating, existing information and generally accepted geocaching behavior into the concise format that serves both to guide geocachers and to instill a sense of trust in landowners and land managers. Yeah, because if that's gone, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. So the need for Geocachers Creed, a need for morality as we go over the different key points of the
not just in geocaching.
No, that's and yes, and you can apply this to just about anything. The need for Geocachers Creed, a need for morality. As we go over the different key points of the Geocachers Creed, it is important to know that we are not preaching to everyone about what is right and what is wrong. What the Geocachers Creed represents is simply put, good common sense practices. And I know everybody that out there going, common sense. Yeah. Sometimes it is necessary to point out the obvious as to promote thought out of that action. So we go through over this tonight. There should be many times when you think to yourself, well, duh, which actually helps confirm the obvious. So that's how that goes. The Geocachers Creed is more like needed guidelines. No one is forcing you to act with respect towards others. Efforts of placing a quality cache and in turn putting it back as good or better than found. No one is making you keep other geocachers in mind when placing a geocache or doing the right thing when the situation arises. This is simply completely voluntary and as a whole only helps remind geocachers of what is really best for all and best for ourselves. And so let's go over what we started with the main keywords and the backbone for the Geocachers Creed: safe, legal, and ethical. And again, a lot of this is right off the webpage. When placing or seeking geocaches, I will, because that's what a creed is. You are saying, you are acknowledging the following. So it says, I will not endanger myself or others. Like any outdoor activity, geocaching involves some inherent risk, and many geocachers enjoy manageable risks. Minimize inordinate risks when creating a cache. Describe any hidden dangers, and if possible, arrange the hunt to minimize these dangers. When seeking a cache, know your limitations and be aware of your surroundings. Don't attempt anything beyond your abilities. A cache you own or one you're trading out of could be found by children or even a prisoner work crew. Consider the location of the cache and those likely to find it when deciding what to leave as a trade item.
Mm-hmm.
You never think about stuff like that. Another one: observe all laws and rules of the area. Don't break the law or rules of an area or encourage others to do so when playing or seeking a cache at highways, mailboxes, known trespassing areas, and also please don't leave illegal items in a cache. We've all had our interesting finds when it comes to geocaching. Respect property rights and seek permission when appropriate. And I think with geocaching now more than ever, this is so important to get that written permission or even an email permission from the landowner. So needed more than ever. Check if permission is required before placing a cache on private property, and respect the landowner's wishes. No means no. It doesn't mean, well, I'll sneak it out in the corner, nobody will know. Yeah, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Check if public land has a geocaching policy and respect existing policies. Parks is a good example for that.
Mm-hmm.
Promptly remove your cache if the landowner or land manager or steward asks you to. Do not damage or interfere with the function of buildings, structures, or signage, which there's a lot of talk there. Avoid causing disruptions or public alarm. That just brings back too many memories. Don't place a cache near schools or government buildings unless the administration and staff are fully aware of the placement. Use caution where children play. Parents are understandably concerned when strangers are near their children. There's nothing like having a guy my size around a playground at children looking for a geocache is all I'm doing, and they're like, "What's this big guy doing over here?" Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Don't place a cache near critical infrastructure that might be considered a terrorist target. We know this one backwards and forwards. Or create a cache that could be mistaken for a terrorist device. Those hand grenade geocaches, not a good idea. They panic with bananas in a tree. I'm just saying. Minimize my and other impact on the environment. If you want to check out, if you're very much into the environment and you want to find a different organization that also shows your love for the environment, please check out Leave No Trace. It's a basically you go out geocaching, you leave as small of a footprint as you can when you go out geocaching, and Leave No Trace does everything that they can when they go out geocaching, so that basically you try to avoid making muggle trails or anything like that. Let's see. When seeking a cache, the dog decided to just leave. When seeking a cache, practice lift, look, replace. Put all stores or logs back where you found them. Leave the area as you found it or better. And also, if you get a chance, pick up litter. Obtain the best possible coordinates for your cache to reduce unwanted wear on the area. Recheck and correct your coordinates if finders report significant errors. Do not abandon a cache. If you stop maintaining the cache, remove the container, because otherwise this is geolitter. Mm-hmm. Remove the container, archive its listing, and explain the disposition of the cache in your archive note, or put it up for adoption or rescue. If you delist a cache on one host, please keep it on another. Make sure you mention this in the archives note to prevent rescues of active caches. Good stuff. Another one, be considerate of others. Wow, who thought of that? Golden rule. Mm-hmm. Treat other geocachers civilly in the field, in the forums, or wherever your paths may cross. Don't spoil the hunt for others. Allow them to experience the cache as its owner intended. Avoid leaving tracks to the cache. I know that's not easy, but that's part of the thing that you really want to try to do. Do not disrupt the cache area or mark the hiding spot. Minimize giving unsolicited clues that reveal the cache. I don't know. Sometimes that's the only time we've been able to actually find a clue is if somebody said, this really helped when I saw X. Mm-hmm. That's actually helped. But I'm just saying, don't just sit there and say, well, it's under the log in the tree on the left, that kind of thing. Don't provide any hints if the cache description asks you not to. In all other cases, be cryptic or encrypt any hints or spoilers you enter in online logs. Edit your log if the cache owner requests that you remove spoilers. Promptly alert the owner of any issues with their cache. Make minor repairs if you can. It will save the owner a trip. Cache owners appreciate feedback. Write an online log, send an email, or otherwise let the owner know about your experience with their cache. Only place caches you can maintain and respond promptly to problem reports. If you exchange trade items, trade kindly. Consider what future finders would like and leave some equal or better that you would take. Common sense. If you place a traveling item into the game, attach a tag that describes its goal so that others can help it along. If you pick up a traveling item with a tag describing its goal, move the item towards its goal if possible. Contact the owner. Is that the dog? I'm hoping. Contact the owner if you hold a traveling item for more than a couple weeks or so. What's
if she wasn't black, you could see her head right there in between us.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw
There's
tongue.
Her tongue.
All I see is a tongue. Hello, sweetheart. That's funny. Obtain permission from the originator before copying unique themes and techniques, adding to an existing series of caches, or placing a cache close to another. And then finally, the last thing, the seventh out of the items, protect the integrity of the game pieces. The owner entrusts you not to damage or jeopardize the cache. Try to ensure the cache is ready for the next finder as a good or better than you found it. Make sure the container properly closed to prevent the contents from getting wet or destroyed. Be inconspicuous in retrieving, signing, and replacing a cache to avoid vandalism. Put the cache back where you found it and hide it well. Don't move a cache if you suspect the cache is not in the intended spot. Hide it the best you can and alert the owner as soon as possible. Don't collect traveling items meant to stay in the game. This is tantamount to stealing. Don't tamper with or involve the game piece in alternate games without the owner's permission. So there you go. I mean, it's reading, a owner's manual. I know when you talk for stuff like this, but it's all common sense, and hopefully those little nuggets of information, some of it comes through, and it's like, wow, yeah, maybe I should start doing that again, or maybe I'm a little laxed on that and could do better. I know I could. So yeah, the Geocachers Creed, good thing to do. Be sure to check out again. Go to www.geocreed.info and just do a little breather on that, refresher and take a look. And there's more information and a lot of other things on there as well. So be sure to check that out. All right. Good stuff. Like I said, kind of like reading the manual, but what can I say? That's how it is. Stop. All right. Let's move on. If I went through and discussed each point to the point that we normally do, this show would be about 4 hours long. So that's why.
Yeah, quick to the point. Let's get
quick and to the point. Let's do it. All right. Good stuff. So, wifey, I'll let you talk to your part instead of playing with the dog.
Your support helps keep all of the GeoSnippits Reboot shows running along. Please consider making a PayPal donation through the link on our website to support our efforts in your ongoing entertainment. From all of us at GeoSnippets and the dog, we thank you.
Absolutely. Also, please consider about either joining into our Patreon or PayPal campaign. All you have to do is go to geosnippets.com, click on there, and you can see about the different ways that you can become a contributing factor to the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe. It literally helps keep us going each and every week. And for the new people that just joined in, thank you. For the people that have been doing it for a while, thank you ever so much. All your contributions are. I'm sorry, did you just?
Yeah, she was twisting my arm.
Are extremely welcome, and we thank you all for what you do. Thank you again. All right, good stuff. I think Ellie's getting tired, and we're moving on. Ellie's our black lab for the people in the podcast going, what are they talking about? And she normally lays on her feet underneath the table in the studio here while we do the show. And for some reason, she has decided to get up and venture out and then nudge us to pet her. So
yes, but with the black chairs and everything else in the shadows, you can't see her except when she licks her tongue out, and then you see pink go.
That was very nicely done. I like that.
There you go.
Good stuff. Young. Yep. So let's move on to the GeoSnippits Geocaching Cache Stash. Let me explain what that is. Basically, we have some of the best companies in the geocaching
I'm ordering
world.
This tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yes.
And we're going to go through, and quite frankly, they want you to know about the products that they provide. So they send us these little geocaching packages of love, and I'm kind of hoping to hear from Beverly at GX Proxy pretty soon, because she's back in action again. And
I know.
And when Beverly has been extremely generous.
She's been
over the
adding
years.
To her collection of items.
Yes.
Too.
So we are going to have one heck of a goodie package coming pretty soon, I'm thinking.
I hope.
So we'll see what happens. And Beverly, if you're listening, I'm just saying we're waiting, because Mother Hubbard's cupboard's getting a little low in the old cash stash. I'm just saying. But anyways, we do a question each week. And quite frankly, it's gives you guys a chance each week to win a prize that we do from all the stuff that they send to us. And wife Amy, what was the prize last week?
It was from coinsandpins.com. It was a very cool jellyfish geocoin.
Yeah, I'm not going to take it out. We showed it last time,
but you can't put it back in the thing.
Right, it's a hand-eye coordination thing. But anyways, they're a beautiful geocoin from Coins and Pins,
and the little tentacles.
And they've got like 6, 8. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 little beaded tentacles that come out of the bottom of the geocoin. Really cute, very pretty. Comes in different type of colors. This one, I believe, is green. That they go in. Matter of fact, you can purchase them at coinsandpins.com for like a little over $12. So no big deal, but a beautiful geocoin that you're going to want, and a unique geocoin that you're going to want to add to your collection. All right, so I'm going to get this over here. Well, we'll have to do that in a few minutes. So go ahead, wife Amy, if you would do the question.
What year were virtuals originally grandfathered? And the year is 2005.
2005. All right, so I didn't have a chance to set this up for the show, so I'm going to do that right now. Give me half a second. I got the tablet out here for the people listening on the podcast, and I'm bringing this up. So right here we have all the emails that were sent in for the last week's question. I am then going to go through and bring up my once this works right, there we go. I'm going to bring up my random number generator that has a number between 1 and the total number of correct answers that were sent in to us for this. And wife Amy just flipped her magic geocoin, and say the magic geocoin was heads and the number on here was 4. It's not 4, but let's just pretend. And it's not heads. But if it was heads, we would count 1, 2, 3, 4 from the top of the list, and that would be the winner. If it was tails and it was 4, we'd count up 4 from the bottom, and that would be the winner. So, wife Amy, are we actually going heads or tails? Tails. All right, so I've got that. Let me bring up the emails here and count in from that. All right. Wife Amy, is that legal? Check. Okay, so the winner of that beautiful geocoin, and he actually said virtuals were grandfathered in 2005, is Colin, aka Turan. I hope I'm saying that right, Colin. Turan, and he is out of Cedar City, Utah. So congratulations, Colin, for being the winner for that. And we will get that out as soon as absolutely possible. And for anybody waiting on prizes, they're on their way. I'm just saying, now that things have improved in the employment area, we've been able to get everything together, and the prizes will be coming out very, very shortly. So you might be saying, well, wait a minute. How do I win? They just gave away this really, really cool geocoin. How do I get stuff like that too? Because we give away stuff each and every week. Well, it's very simple. To be eligible to win a prize from the Cash Dash, all you have to do is send in. If you don't play, you don't win. That's the key thing. I don't know how people don't get the connection, but if you don't actually send in the email, you're not eligible. All correct answers must be put in by 12 noon, September 6th, 2017. And email it to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's gsreboot@gmail.com. Subject Q1, episode 214, which is for tonight's episode. All correct answers will be put in a drawing. Some weeks for the people in the live chat room, we'll have a second prize as an incentive for people to come in and watching our show, like tonight. That's right, folks. We got a free one that's going to go out for you fine folks, and that will be going out in just a couple of minutes. But let's get through this part, and then we will give out a free prize for somebody live in our audience tonight. So, wife Amy, if you would be so kind as to talk about the prize for the this episode 214.
All right, it's from cashadvance.com. It's 50 trail tax.
Yeah, now this is interesting. This is actually from Hunter's Specialties. This is a item that Cash Dash Advance gave to us, and I have not seen these before, but they're actually actual thumbtacks that are reflective. So literally trail tags. So this doesn't necessarily have to be for a night cache. You can use this for a day cache as well. But you can make a pretty unique multi, I'm thinking, for something like this, or a bunch of them with 50 of them. We've never given this one out before, so some lucky winner is going to get this unique orange 50 tax trail tax. And that's really, really cool. All right. What's the question, wife Amy?
Will an ultraviolet light make a reflective light light up like a standard flashlight would?
Would an ultraviolet light make a reflective light, like these tags, light up like a standard flashlight would? Yes or no? Simple, easy. You got a shot at 50 if you're guessing, 50-50. Send your answers in again to gsreboot@gmail.com. And we will find out next week who gets the very cool trail tags. So excellent stuff. All right. So everybody's been waiting. And we have for tonight, we're going to have our world famous email race. And for the folks that haven't done it before, this is a lot of fun. For the people that are, will understand, and they will know exactly what to do. And I'm just trying to.
You can't talk and use the mouse with his left hand at the same time.
It's odd. We're working weird tonight more than usual. So I'm just trying to get the chat room up here. There we go. Interesting. All right, good stuff. Anyhow, this is how this works. What you need to do is set up your email. Don't send it until we tell you. We've got a special flag that goes through for this. But let's entice you with who's going to win what tonight. And wife Amy, if you would please say what this is.
It's from cache-events.com. It's a Sparkle Fish Geocoin.
This is so cute. This is Sparkle the Fish. Very cute geocoin. And again, thank you to cache-advance.com for all the stuff that they do for us. And it's just a very cute, unique geocoin. Very cute. And the sparkle is gold and black. And just a neat geocoin. So this is how this works. Make sure in the subject, first you make sure that you have it set up to go to gsreboot@gmail.com. That's GSREBOOT@gmail.com. In the subject line, very important, put Q2 for question 2 and episode 214. That's how we separate all the different contests that we do. So subject Q2, episode 214. Don't send it yet. Now, wife Amy's got what we call our flag. And in the body, she's going to say a phrase. And you're going to put that phrase in the body of the email. When you're done typing, then you can send it. But this way, it gets everybody a chance to do it at the same time. Wife Amy, if you would, please raise the flag.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Go. Had a kind of a twist with the prize connection. I'm just saying. Anywho, so put that in, send it to us. And we are going to wrap up the show. And then in just a couple of minutes, we will find out before we close who won that really cool geocoin. All right, let's do that. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the show. This was a lot of fun. And we had a great time doing this. I know it was kind of like reading out of the Boy Scout handbook when it comes to stuff like this. Little bit on the drier side, but like I said, if we did a point talk for everything that we talked about, the show would go for 4 hours. So all I can suggest is be sure
I would not.
Be sure to check out the Geocachers Creed, and by going to geocreed.info. And check it out for yourself. A lot of cool stuff that's in there, a lot of good information. And again, mostly common sense for stuff like that. All right, good stuff. Let us know what you think about tonight's episode. If you want other types of information, please let us know what you'd like us to talk about. We'd greatly appreciate it. Please consider becoming a patron by being a contributing factor for the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast universe. We greatly appreciate that. It literally helps keep the lights on. And finally, tell other geocachers about our show. Anytime you go to an event or go geocaching with other friends and that, just say, hey, have you ever heard of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast? And that word of mouth is what keeps things going for us as well. All right, I think it is time And I am going to bring up here said tablet. And I'm going to bring up the search here. And and we will check out. Thank you. I think that's stuff coming in. So let me get rid of this. And then also use this, and we will get to see how many people. And for the people listening down the podcast, I'm typing on my tablet here to get the right search query. All right. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. There we go. Okay, let's see. All right. Let me check one more time. I'll make sure that we get everything in here. Why is this not redoing what it's supposed to? All right. All right.
It's still working.
It's working. We're pulling on here. And it's pulling. So we'll make sure. All right. Wow.
All right. I say we go middle.
Middle. All right. The winner is, and we will go with that. All right. The winner is William Glon. William Glon. Go ahead, William, and do me a favor. Write to me and say winner of Q2 episode 214 and send us your address, and we will get that prize out to you. Excellent stuff. All right, so congratulations, William, for all that. And thank you, fine folks. I'm going to mark this so that I've got it here. And thank you, fine folks, for stopping on by and listening to us. We greatly, greatly appreciate it each and every week. I want to say a special thank you to wife Amy for all the things that she's done with everything. And thank you, fine folks, for stopping on by. We want to thank gxproxy.com and coinsandpins.com for bringing in all the stuff that they have, and also all you amazing patrons out there. Thank you so much. All right, good stuff. Excellent stuff coming out next week. Be sure to check out our episode, and we will see you out on the trails, folks. Have a good one. Have a safe one, and we'll see you next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Bye-bye, folks. Please be sure to join us each and every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for another episode of the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast, right here on the GeoSnippits website at www.geosnippits.com. The video version of our show is available on YouTube, and the audio version is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Blueberry, the Tech Podcast Network, Google Play, and many of your favorite podcatchers. We love hearing from our viewers and listeners, so please leave your feedback by emailing us at gsreboot@gmail.com. Visit us through our social media sites or contact us via our voicemail line at 919-341-9519 or use our website Send Voicemail tab. GeoSnippits Reboot is a HeadHardHat production and is produced by Amy and Andy Smith. The show is copyright 2017 by Andrew T. Smith. All rights reserved. All right, and clear. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for everybody that stopped on by for us in the live chat room, and we will see you fine folks next week on the GeoSnippits Reboot Podcast. Bye-bye, folks.